send Marty a list of at least 3 names in the order you want them, and then when necessary, we just start with the top one.
Yeah, see, I was reviewing this piece. But Brett brought up a big point. Who would you name as a interim successor? And I said it really should be an officer of the court, the county court. So you or Stevens or Celeste or Noe.
Because this is the code section that I know Vienna and Parkersburg, like when the mayor is on vacation or something.
Right.
And they name, Joe Sanner as the temporary mayor. This is what they follow.
I'll get you in a picture.
Huh?
I'll get you in a picture.
Well, we can put this as an agenda item on Thursday. That way we could announce the names of interim successors and then have a motion, because Jimmy's on there, maybe Bob is now, but they could voice vote to allow and make it very specific for the purposes of canvassing the election. Because of the requirement to have 2 in the building, we name a temporary successor for that reason only. Because yes, sir?
Oh, sorry, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I did speak to the Ethics Commission this morning. Spoke to Joyce, and she said that she didn't see a problem with it being done over, like Zoom, because we can still have the public portion of it there at the courthouse with one of the county commissioners on the other side doing a Zoom conference call to vote on the provisionals. And then, Natasha, I even brought up just walking around with the camera so that you can see the hand count portion of it.
Why don't you look at West Virginia Code 6A-1-7?
Okay.
And it is something that the cities and municipalities have in effect. When the mayor leaves town, they have an interim successor for local office. We could really designate somebody who is, and my gut reaction is, it's somebody that's already an elected county official. And then they have the temporary power as a commissioner to oversee the canvass and certification of the election.
Okay. I'll look at that section too.
Yeah, but we'll have to do something on Thursday. We postponed the canvass today because you didn't call any poll workers.
I called the poll workers and asked them not to show up.
Okay.
At this point.
Well, let's do next Monday.
Okay.
For sure.
I can get.
Does he have to physically be here?
You don't have to physically be here, do you?
I don't know. that I'll double check also. But because I've got Liz and Diana and Melody that can take care of most everything that I need to take care of.
Yeah, but I think we've just understood something in that having a temporary successor is already in place for all elected offices. You would use your chief deputy. Same with the sheriff. But having that list internal, so it wouldn't have a huge.
We still have
I think you should also note, if you do time limits with that, there will be no carryovers.
Right.
And when it drops dead, it drops dead, period.
Yeah, and they don't get your pay either, Jimmy. That doesn't go with it.
Well,
But it says we have to name 3.
Everybody is, consideration-wise, you don't want lingering power walking to the courthouse.
True, it would just, and I think the order would be written to just allow them for purposes of canvassing and certifying the election.
That's exactly what I just said. Thank you.
Perfect.
The assessor shut down all his offices. Connie's the only one in. don't name him as successor, he won't do it.
Yeah,
And I mean, I guess, I don't know that it matters or not.
it doesn't.
I'm thinking for people that you name as potential successors, for this purpose, you might want to avoid people who were on the ballot.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
So,
Well, opposed on the ballot.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, we could just name all 3 circuit judges, and one of them ought to be able to walk it.
so, I mean, it would be just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'd do the circuit judges or magistrates or somebody that's. I mean, super would be the logical choice. For all, if we named, everybody here named 3 temporary interim successors in a temporary position.
Yeah.
So all 3 commissioners have a list of 3 names under them.
That's hard to do.
Right. I mean, because for whatever reason, it says you need 3.
Yeah, it says not less than 3, but that can be pretty tough.
Yeah.
I don't think you can stay with elected county officials if you're gonna do.
No, I don't think you can either.
Well, could you have the same list for all 3?
I don't think.
Yeah, so Pat's trying to find a loophole to get off the list. And Noe and Celeste and the sheriff.
No, he won't do it like an answer. I don't think.
Or do we, I'm concerned about trying to do Zoom or something, FaceTime.
How many provisionals you have? Yeah. Forget it.
I already went through them individually, so now we need a second.
I mean, really, that's the only thing that there needs to be a bunch of give and take on, right? If there is any.
Right.
No, we kept it pretty straight when we did it, so there wasn't any wiggle room. If the ballot style is the same, then we allow it. If they're not registered, we don't allow it. If they're poll worker out of district, Van Diemender was closed, we had people vote elsewhere. There was none that really got weird. There was an election about 3 cycles ago where they all thought when they checked the box at the DMV to register me to vote, the DMV would send that information to the county clerk, and it never happened. So you had all these people that said I registered at the DMV, but they weren't registered over here. And that became upsetting because we knew people that had called and said, wait a minute, what are you saying? I registered at the DMV, so my vote doesn't count now? That was a hard conversation.
Did you see the amended order from the governor with on the masks? Allows you to be in an office if you're by yourself without a mask.
Yeah, we're finding, hi Todd. We're finding interesting stuff. So, well, Mark, we'll have it on the agenda for Thursday to vote on how we want to do this.
Okay,
And we'll research it, but on Monday we should be able to continue the canvas.
great. That will be good.
Somebody's got to be ordered the other 2 guys. I probably should come from you, Pat.
So,
The other 2 commissioners that get rid of 3 people they want. So they understand what you're doing.
You talked to Bob?
Yesterday. Said he'd probably get out today. So.
But I still believe that starts a 14-day quarantine.
That's what he told me when they released it. It starts at 14 days.
really,
Yep.
And he was trying to back time it to say that this is when it happened. But we have no ability to say. But it is more likely for the whole nation that voting was a precipitating event. It just wasn't us that ballooned. And we know Mark did every proper procedure he could. But we always have the right to vote cannot be infringed upon based on you don't want to wear a face cover. All right.
I think the other thing you got is that public hearing at 10 for the CDBG
Yeah.
Regional Council.
Yeah, it's something. We'll be the first commission I've ever heard of that sets up all the interim successors in writing, by order, in the books.
So should I call John Reed and tell him to get on your list?
Hey, you know, I'm just gonna pick 3 people that you do not get along with.
Yeah, that's it. He'd be the top of the list. John Reed.
John Reed, Harold Taylor,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Zoller.
Yeah, Zoller. There you go. That'd be so much fun.
Oh my God. Oh, and to make matters worse, I had a tree fall down. Not on my house this time, thank gosh.
So what's the word on the canvas?
Canvas will take place this coming Monday, so we can work towards completion. We have 2 commissioners that will probably be unable to attend the canvas. So, with Pat's good help and digging through West Virginia State Code, we found a provision, emergency interim successor for local officers. Now, Pat brings up that when the mayor leaves town, he has somebody that is, what do they call that person? Acting man?
Acting.
Yeah, so we know that other governments do this. We've never been faced with that. So this piece of the code says, if you go up into 6A, but it says interim successors. And it says it's not limited to towns, counties, fire, power, drainage, any other such officer subject to such regulations as the governing body may choose upon approval of this article. So I think on Thursday we have to approve the article, 6A17, and then we each commissioner, and I think even into the other elected officials, should name 3 interim successors. We can, by definition, I think by an order of the court, order of the commission, say we want to name an interim successor for and only for the canvassing of the ballots and certification of the election. I think everything else we do, we can handle over phone. I have one of our commissioners and our county clerk on the speakerphone. So when we're allowed to
And
tell
the sheriff.
and
And the sheriff.
the sheriff, we're allowed to call into a meeting and make our opinion known. But in this one incident, it says that there must be 2 commissioners in the courthouse. And that makes it a little hard. Now, Mark spoke to the Ethics Commission, and they believe we could do something in Zoom or FaceTime to allow that second commissioner to attend. But going through all the challenge ballots probably needs to have someone on site. So that's where the interim commissioner comes up. Yeah, and it says it'll be filled in accordance until the officer, commissioner preceding the emergency becomes available to exercise their powers and discharge the duties of office. There's only one little piece that they're not being able to do, right? And that's the election.
That's the only thing I can think of that requires two of them to physically be.
Present, right? I'm sure there might be something else, but that's
I
the
can't think of
one that
anything.
you've got right now. So.
No, I think it was the sheriff's tax. Oh, the president of the commission has to be present
Have an auction.
at an auction of county property.
So when you say following Monday, I forgot how you phrased that. It's been postponed until next Monday.
Correct. And Mark will be able to line up some poll workers to come canvass the precincts. We'll line up someone to review the challenge ballots and to help oversee the process. And so an interim successor should be somebody that is familiar with that, or it doesn't. I put on my shoulders another elected official, but it doesn't have to be that.
I don't think you can answer this, but what does this mean as far as certifying West Virginia's results? Do you know if any other counties having this issue right now?
Mark?
If they are, nobody said anything about non-block.
No, okay.
Mark, you haven't heard of any other counties in our situation?
No, sir. I've heard of a couple of counties where county commissioners just got mad and walked out, but because they had lost and they didn't want to proceed. But there were still two other ones there, so where they had to postpone until the second one got there. But I haven't heard anybody else in our situation now.
It is 2020.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
But I'm glad the West Virginia legislature anticipated something similar, although I don't think they ever anticipated what we're going through. But the issue of there's other issues that could be harmful. But I'm glad we will find a way to be able to handle this in a way to certify the election, because the state of West Virginia can't certify their results until we do.
Right.
Correct.
We have a public hearing at 10 a.m. Is he going to call in?
Fred sounded like he's going to come over. I gave him the number to call in if you want to go tell him.
Hey, wait a minute. That was a great picture. That's your DHHR. I think we shall, by order of the commission, when we all have all three here, award all the youth athletics. So yesterday, Friday, November 13th, they add the probable cases and the confirmed cases together, so we had 110. And then Saturday, 74. And our daily positivity rate, I just don't understand what the other 75.5% is. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I have no idea.
And so then we look up the river. Not bad. bad. For whatever reason, we really got bad.
So, and I have my camera off now. Are you suggesting that voting might have brought this on?
You know, what I'm trying to struggle with, you actually have to go back further. Because I saw the spring up, it actually started, the big number when we had double-digit positives was October 25th. So originally thought it might have been Halloween. So then we go back, and you can't say the precipitating event was early vote, but that's about when it starts. So we have more positive cases in Wood County as we begin early vote. Now, the health department, speaking to them, they're having a tremendously difficult time trying to get contact tracing and case management. So it's spreading so fast. You would love if someone sitting there tested positive, you talk to them and figure out who they were around. And then that will help you figure out when it started. You know, these two, election night seems like the most logical because we know we had a candidate out there that was confirmed positive with just a few days after election. So are they an asymptomatic spreader and then gave them to these three? It's hard to say. You can't say with any certainty. I don't know. Pat, you're smart.
You don't know. I mean, there's no way to know for sure.
I talked to both Bob and Jimmy on election. I actually interviewed Bob because he won his election.
Yeah.
I tested 4 days later and I was negative.
Same with me. I tested on the Monday after election because we knew that people were getting sick that we were in proximity to. More so than we've ever, you know. But thank God it doesn't sound like anybody's going to be permanently harmed. There are people in hospitals that may not be the same, but it seems like the death rates have gone way down. We have 365 people in hospitals, 113 in ICU, and we jumped up to 36 on bed.
I'm just
Here or statewide?
Okay.
Where are the numbers you just mentioned, was that here or statewide?
Statewide. They won't break down the local hospitals. I've had issue with that, and I have sent emails, but they don't want to do it.
All right.
We looked at this. Huntington Health and Rehab has 103 active positive residents and 55 staffers, and 17 have died. That's just amazing. And the Willows Center, that ballooned up. I didn't see that. 13 residents and 13 staff, all positive. Hospitalization certainly went up. I'm disappointed in Clay Marsh saying in the governor's conference that they had plenty of beds available in all the hospitals in the same day. One gets diverted to Marietta Memorial. So I think Clay was wrong. Dr. Marsh. have a free testing facility. The middle one fell.
Wow.
And the other two, but it's just amazing how that's a 2.5 story house.
Wow. Good thing it went this way.
Had a pine tree laid down at the house, big one. I'd say that's 25, 50, 100-foot pine tree. Didn't smack a house.
Did miss your house this time.
Yeah, I told Kim, put on your boots. We're gonna go out and back your car up and lay a limb on it. I was wandering around the Hertz office going, where the hell is one of the guys? You know, I know one's in the hospital for non-COVID related.
Chris, did the assessor's office notify you they're shutting down? We need to put something on the website. They're just taking phone calls, that's it.
And why don't you get? I don't think there's anything in code that says elected officer must inform the commission of his decision.
I know they shut down personal property,
But it probably should have been.
I know they shut down personal
They
property.
shut down upstairs, 2 counties on one.
Oh, okay. They just put their clothes to walk.
No, but it puts pressure on all the other offices in the courthouse because people that come in, they go up there and they're PO'd and they go to find some other office to
Vent their frustration.
vent their frustration. Where if we put something on the website,
I'll put a website, a Facebook page.
yeah, just give it to Connie and see what their status is.
We've done a lot of testing in the valley. I know that. This was sent out 6 days ago. Wonder where they're gonna do testing today.
I can't find that on the website. I looked at that. I couldn't find it anywhere.
I think it's the South today. Pretty sure it's what I saw. Yeah.
I probably got an email about it.
I mean, I can't see packing this room with more people. We need to have that up in the lobby or something.
Where, for what?
There's already 2 or 3 people out there for that public meeting.
I would gladly step out.
I think we need them to stay out there and have that too.
That's super.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And you move it to the annex?
We can put it right out here in that lobby.
I'm gonna get this one ready.
If we're gonna have it out there, just one thing.
Or can I shut this down?
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna have the public hearing